All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is April 26, 2022, and I'm going to provide some critical thoughts on the Elon Musk Twitter buyout. And I'm not here to rain on anybody's parade, but again, I think we should ask critical questions about what just transpired. I see a lot of people declaring victory, that suddenly America has won. Conservatives have won. This solves all of our problems of the last couple of years. And now that there allegedly is a free speech centralized platform that an American billionaire oligarch bought, everything's going to be fine now. And people are parading this around through social media. And this includes primarily every single conservative agreeing with the move and saying that it's going to absolutely destroy the left, liberals, and wokeness. Well, I'm here to bring you just some level-headedness to this giant media event today. Please like and share this video. Of course, I'm Christopher Greene, and this is AMTV. So first question, do you honestly believe that you would be allowed to become the alleged richest man in the world if you were truly anti-establishment? Let me ask that question again. Do you think you would be allowed to become the alleged richest man on planet Earth if you were anti-establishment and going against the system? Question mark. Think that one through for a minute. Also, too, we've seen in recent years Musk say one thing and do the opposite. So notice what happened in Canada. He gave those donations, if you know what I mean. And then when it didn't work out and there was government pushback, what did he do? He retreated and he said, well, the Canadians should just vote in new politicians, even though they weren't even allowed outside of their houses. Second question, do you think it's a good idea that American oligarch billionaires own the entire supply chain of society? This includes energy, transportation, the media, and also food supply, just to give a couple specific examples. For example, Jeff Bezos, another American oligarch and very astute businessman, owns pretty much a lot of those things. What did he do after taking over e-commerce, monopolizing the space, and crushing small and medium-sized businesses in the United States? Well, he then started to boost his pricing, to increase his margins like any good businessman would do. I would do this as well. After getting rid of the competition, then he took those profits and bought what? Whole Foods. Again, so all of these American billionaires basically take control of all the world's resources. Whether or not it's Bezos buying the Washington Post, so he buys his own media footprint that will control his own public relations and PR. Now, I'm not saying these aren't tremendously smart moves. I would actually do the same thing. I'm just asking the critical questions today. Musk buying Twitter is a public relation move for himself. He now controls the narrative, okay, and his own propaganda, owning a social media company like Twitter and being in command of it. Also, do you think the SEC would approve a Twitter tender offering private buyout by Elon Musk if they weren't in on it? The SEC doesn't even like Elon Musk, supposedly, right? They're constantly suing him. Would they allow these potential monopolies to be created in the first place, like the too big to fail banks, okay? Another industry that I won't mention today, food supply and energy, unless they wanted that consolidation of power? You see, in my view, in my opinion, Americans have given up pretty much all of their freedom, cheered it as a bread and circus, as American oligarch billionaires buy the entire infrastructure of society. Whether or not this is media, as is Twitter, technology, banking, energy, or food. Now again, why does Elon Musk really want Twitter? Number one, it's a media footprint, just like Bezos bought the Washington Post. Should that be allowed in the first place? Is that not like a total monopoly to own all these major parts of infrastructure of American culture and society? But in addition to that, he's buying it to unlock the algorithm, okay, which is under basically lock and key right now. By buying Twitter through this buyout, Elon Musk will now have access to this very valuable code. So what is he going to do with this code? Let me ask you another question. Do you think it's a good idea to put a microchip in human beings' brains? Because that's what Elon Musk is doing with Neuralink. He says it's only going to be for paraplegics and those with special needs at first, but will this not progress inch by inch to all Americans and all people, as they will need to be, and this will be the argument, optimized in the future to compete with AI, artificial intelligence, and supercomputers? So he's unlocking this code because I believe, this is my opinion, he's building an ecosystem in a Borg. Transportation networks, self-driving cars, space satellites, communication of those space satellites. Works with the State Department, government bodies. He's got aspirations to colonize multi-planetary species abroad. He wants to put chips in your head. And he's also said that AI is the number one threat, bigger than nukes, moving forward, as the populations around the globe could be extinguished by robotic technology that ultimately replaces humans because of super intelligence and what people like Ray Kurzweil at Google have called the singularity, something I've been talking about for years. So again, bottom line, do you think it's a good idea, and do you think the establishment elite would allow people like Elon Musk to take total control of these companies, monopolize, vertically and centrally integrate across all these platforms unless they wanted that to happen? So again, to me, this is a psyop. It is a psychological operation to keep the American people and people around the world on centralized platforms that they promised to decentralize. I saw that. Oh, he's going to, make it free now. Okay, well, we'll see if that happens. We'll believe it when we see it. Okay, but this keeps you on the gatekeepers with the illusion, okay, think outside of the box here, ladies and gentlemen, for a minute, that somehow you're on a freedom-oriented platform now. Now, Trump has come out and said that he doesn't even want to come back on Twitter, although it'd probably be tough to do if he plans on running for re-election, because that's a huge soapbox for him to get his message out. His total audience is less than 1% on Truth Social. And by the way, it's very business strategic as well. The elite's allowing Musk to buy Twitter because they've got to give it the stamp of approval. The SEC's got to approve this, right? There's monopoly laws and all these kinds of things. They haven't stopped any of these monopolies from being created in recent years. But also puts a dagger in the heart, so to speak, metaphorically, of real emerging potential alternative platforms, like a Truth Social or anything else in the space, like a Gab or any of these other, social networks that are trying to be allegedly more free. So it also works in the benefit of the establishment from that perspective as well. Again, in my opinion, this is a grand psyop, and it's a delusion. And it's also a Freudian catharsis that somehow the American people have won. They now no longer have to stand up for themselves as a result of everything that's happened in recent years, and they can just claim victory from the convenience and laziness of their armchair by simply sending out a tweet. So the sheer fact that I see every mainstream conservative from, and I'm not going to mention their names, but you know who they are, all agreeing with the move, all cheering as if they've won something, to me seems to be an act of either idiocy, naivete, ignorance, or potentially just the fact that they're playing into the divisive two-party system, which doesn't even exist, which means they're not that smart. There is no system. Right, left doesn't matter. You've seen this in recent years. I can't get into all the topics today, but look at what just happened, ladies and gentlemen. How many rights and freedoms do you truly have, is what I'll say about that. There's one party, okay, and there are certain people calling the shots, and they're approving certain actions and company buyouts currently taking place at this very given moment in time. Now, I'm not saying that there are not some good billionaires out there or that it's bad to be a billionaire. I'm sure you'd like to be a billionaire. I'd like to be a billionaire. I'm not saying that there's not good people out there. But we live in a society, in my view, where you are not going to become the world's richest and powerful sheerly by accident and just because you're really good at business. You become that person because you are actually friends and you've been approved and knighted by those people really in charge, which is why Elon Musk gets government contracts, just like Howard Hughes did, and I'd call him the modern day Howard Hughes. It's why he gets taxpayer subsidies paid by you that no other company in the world gets. It's why he works with government bodies and the military industrial complex with this host of companies, because they fulfill and build the mission of the greater innovative technological goals that the state has, like self-driving cars and building new communication networks and satellites in our skies, anti-missile defense systems in the space war. Why do you think Donald Trump created the Space Force, a new branch of the military industrial complex? Who do you think's serving that military industrial complex? The same billionaires that are working on space. Elon Musk with SpaceX, his rocket launches, his dream to colonize an uninhabitable planet, even though they can't solve male pattern baldness or cure cancer yet. It's people like Jeff Bezos and his company, Blue Origin. It is others like Richard Branson and his space equivalent. They're all working with the guys upstairs making the phone calls. Case in point, notice that we've had I'm trying to figure out how to word this, but things start to open up recently. Why has that happened? Because the guy who's really in charge made a phone call and allowed it to happen. Someone much more powerful is calling these shots, ladies and gentlemen, than Elon Musk. And personally, I don't believe that we have true capitalism and true freedom in the United States. Because if we did, the last few years wouldn't have happened. The too big to fail bank bailouts of 2008-09, of which you paid billionaires out of your own coffers so their companies didn't have to go bankrupt while yours did. Maybe your home went into foreclosure or short sale, but theirs didn't. Companies like Goldman Sachs, owned by Warren Buffett, that received billions and billions of dollars of taxpayer bailouts. That wouldn't happen in a free market capitalist system that was actually truly following the constitutional principles of what it meant to be free, economically, financially, and just your basic human rights as a human being, which we saw largely go away in recent years. So again, I'll close with this. Do you honestly believe that Elon Musk would be allowed to buy out Twitter unless that's what they wanted? And do you honestly believe you would be allowed to become the world's alleged richest person on the planet unless you were actually, working on the same team? Again, being anti-establishment is not popular. These are just like facts, guys. And again, I'm not trying to rain on anyone's parade. I'm not trying to take away the victory because I know everyone wants to declare victory, but what did we win again? Because I'm missing what we won. Hyperinflation in the United States, economic financial collapse, another war, 2 failed wars in Iraq and Afghanistan. One of the countries, and my friends, a lot of them lost their lives on the battlefield, by the way, and I can't talk to them anymore, have been given back to the Taliban in Afghanistan. I see a president here who's shaking hands with invisible friends after failing to read his teleprompter. I see a former president who wasn't even allowed to speak during a critical time just a couple of years ago. And supposedly we're winning now because an American oligarch billionaire suddenly had the gall for his own self-PR interest and his own interest serving his other companies and ecosystems to buy some social media company called Twitter. And I'm supposed to feel great about that? It's absolutely insane to not be thinking through these critical thoughts in a much more material way. Now, again, also as a Christian, we are warned about the mark. And I'm not making this stuff up. Again, what is the company Neuralink going to do? Its stated mission, go to Neuralink.com, is to put a chip in your head. So what is that then? Guys, think about it. So it says even the elect will be deceived. And I'm putting out this video for those of you intelligent enough with the correct amount of discernment not to be deceived. So I'm not even telling you guys to listen to me. Just ask the questions for yourself Use discernment and go straight to the source, our Father, Jesus Christ himself, and ask him. And then go read the book of Revelation where it tells you about the mark, and then study up on what these people are doing and tell me what you think. And leave a comment question in the box below. So is it victory? Have we won now because we've gotten Twitter? Or is there something far more sinister actually going on behind closed doors? Like I've been warning for over 15 years here on AMTV. Shedding light and truth to millions and billions of people around the world. I love you guys. God bless. I'll see you at school. Get in. I'll teach you a lot more. Everything that I know. Think outside the box. Create those cash flows. Learn about freedom, privacy coins, the real anti-establishment stuff. Learn how to create income, pivot into a new job and career, and a whole lot more. Help us build the Island Project and learn those skills and fundamentals at Bitcoin Rich. That's bitcoinrich.com, promo code Lambo. It's ending at the end of this month. And you get as a bonus all of my AMTV videos and our entire historical archive. The things that maybe people didn't see, because I've been doing this 15 years and bringing the hardcore truth to all of you tuning in. I love you guys. Jesus Christ is Lord. Links below. All right, ladies and gentlemen, to join our world-class blockchain academy at bitcoinrich.com, enter the promo code, what is it, son? Lambo. Save $100 off today. Learn everything you can about Bitcoin, Ethereum, all the other hosts of blockchains, DeFi, smart contracts. Learn how to create those cash flows potentially. Change your life. Go all in with us at bitcoinrich.com. Link below. That's promo code Lambo. Get in today.
Join Bitcoin Rich School today. Promo code Lambo.